Good morning. Today I'll be continuing with the azoles of antifungal agents. Now azoles, they are being categorized into two, imidazoles and triazoles. Now imidazoles, they have basically used for topical purpose, and we have four agents or four drugs which are used for the topical purpose, and we have ketoconazole that serves both as oral as well as the topical agent. And we have two triazoles like fluconazole and itraconazole that have largely replaced ketoconazole for systemic mycosis, mainly due to the greater efficacy, longer half-life, less drug interactions and fewer side effects. If you see the spectrum of activity, they have a broader spectrum of activity, and they cover organisms like dermatophytes, candida, other fungi involved in deep mycosis except mucor. Then it covers, or it has an activity over nocardia, some gram-positive and anaerobic bacteria like, for example, Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus picalis, Leishmania, etc. Mechanism of action of azoles. Now they inhibit the fungal cytochrome P450 enzyme, that is lanosterol 14 demethylase, and they impair ergosterol synthesis, leading to a cascade membrane abnormalities in the fungus. Alright, so there will be a big abnormality taking place in the fungus because of the enzyme that will be getting inhibited. Now resistance to the azoles have been noticed among the candida infecting and candida affected in the AIDS patient, but so far it has not posed any significant clinical problems. So let us start off with the imidazoles. The first drug is clotrimazole. It is very good in case of treatment of tinea infections, okay, topically on topical aspect. Tinea infections like ringworm, and 60 to 100% cure rates have been reported within 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks with an application of this particular medication twice daily schedule. Then athlete's foot, automycosis, oral or cutaneous or vaginal candidiasis, they have responded to this particular drug, and it is particularly favored for vaginitis due to a lasting residual effect after once daily application. So it is once daily application. It has shown a very good course. A 7-day course is generally preferred in this matter. For oropharyngeal candidiasis, 10 milligrams troche of clotrimazole is allowed to get dissolved in the mouth 3 to 4 times a day, or the lotion or gel is being applied, and it will be swirled in the mouth for as long as possible. Also, it is very effective in skin infections caused by Corinne bacteria. And this particular drug, clotrimazole, is well tolerated by majority of the patients. Local irritation with stinging and burning sensation occurs in some, and no systemic toxicity has thus far notified after topical use. Now moving over to the second drug, iconazole. Iconazole, it is almost similar to clotrimazole. It penetrates the superficial layers of the skin. Very good in case of dermatophytosis, automycosis, oral thrush, but is somewhat inferior to clotrimazole in vaginitis. No adverse effects except local irritation in few cases has been reported. Miconazole, the next drug, miconazole. It is highly efficacious in case of tinea, pityriasis versicolor, automycosis, cutaneous and vulvovaginal candidiasis. Due to its very good penetrating power, it has been found very effective, though partially, even in case of onychomycosis. Single application on the skin within a few days proves a very good result. Irritation after cutaneous application is infrequent, so it's not a frequent complaint. Very infrequently you get this particular complaint. No systemic adverse effects have been noticed. However, a higher incidence of vaginal irritation has been reported in comparison to clotrimazole, and even pelvic cramps have also been experienced by very few patients. Moving over to the next drug, oxyconazole. It is also a topical agent that has been marketed as an antifungal agent, very good in case of tinea and other dermatophytic infection as well as vaginal candidiasis. Local irritation can occur in some patients. Ketoconazole, next imidazole. Ketoconazole is the first orally effective broad-spectrum antifungal drug. It is very good in case of dermatophytosis as well as deep mycosis. Oral absorption is facilitated by gastric acidity because it is very soluble in lower pH. Hepatic metabolism is extensive. Metabolites are excreted in urine and feces. Elimination of ketoconazole is dose dependent. Half-life varies from 1.5 to 6 hours. Penetration in CSF is poor, not effective in case of fungal meningitis. However, therapeutic concentrations are attained in the skin and vaginal fluid. Now, in spite of relatively short half-life, a single dose daily administered is satisfactory in very less severe cases. The usual dose is 200 milligrams once in a day, that is OD, or twice in a day. Higher doses are sometimes required depending upon the severity. Moving over to the adverse effects of ketoconazole. So very less toxic when compared to amphotericin B, but more side effects occur than with itraconazole or fluconazole that have largely replaced its use in case of systemic purpose. Most common side effects: nausea, vomiting, which can be reduced when you administer the drug with meals. Others are loss of appetite, headache, paresthesia, rashes, and hair loss. It even decreases the androgen production from testes, displaces testosterone from protein binding sites. Gynecomastia, loss of hair and libido, and oligozoospermia may be certain manifestations too. Menstrual irregularities have also been noticed in women due to the suppression of estradiol synthesis. A dose-dependent decrease in serum hydrocortisone has also been noticed due to synthesis inhibition, but it occurs usually without any clinical manifestations in normal individuals. Mild and asymptomatic elevation of serum transaminases occur in approximately 5% of the patients, but serious hepatotoxicity is infrequent. It is contraindicated in pregnant women as well as in nursing women. Interactions. Now, H2 blockers, proton pump inhibitors, antacids. Okay, these three drugs, H2 blockers, proton pump inhibitors, and antacids, they decrease the oral absorption of ketoconazole by reducing the gastric acidity, because this particular drug is very much soluble in lower pH. So its absorption is facilitated by the gastric acidity. So the lower the pH, more absorption. But here this will interfere, or this will be reducing the gastric acidity, and thus its absorption will be interfered. Now rifampin, phenobarbital, carbamazepine and phenytoin, they induce ketoconazole metabolism and reduce its efficacy. Ketoconazole will reduce certain cytochrome enzymes and raises the blood levels of several drugs, like for example phenytoin, digoxin, diazepam, cyclosporine, haloperidol, nifedipine, warfarin, HIV protease inhibitors, sulfonylureas, statin hypolipidemics, etc. The dangerous interaction, okay, I just want you to note it down. Dangerous interaction is when it is combined with terfenadine, astimizole, cispiride. They result in polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. Polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. Mainly because the plasma levels of these drugs will get increased, and it has caused withdrawal of these drugs from the market in several countries because of these reasons. So this is about the interaction. So that's what I had said. Certain drugs have replaced its use, like fluconazole and itraconazole, in place of these ketoconazole because of these kind of problems, mainly because of the drug interactions. Now uses: orally administration can be noticed in case of dermatophytosis because it gets concentrated in the stratum corneum, and it is an alternative to griseofulvin, but its use is restricted due to the potential adverse effects. Though effective in mononuclear vaginitis, oral therapy for about 5 to 7 days is reserved with recurrent cases or those not responding to topical agents. And it's also used in systemic mycosis, and it is occasionally used in dermal leishmaniasis and Kala-Azar. And it has also been used in Cushing syndrome, basically in high doses, in order to decrease the corticosteroid production. So this is all about imidazoles, group under azoles. In the next class, I'll be talking about the triazoles. Till then, take care.